Arne Duncan, the U.S. Secretary of State for Education from 2009 to 2016, controversially tweeted in 2013, "Let teens sleep, start school later." The argument that school days should start later may sound just like a push from lazy teenagers to catch a few extra hours of sleep in the morning. But the early starting times that we are accustomed to in the United States within public schools across the country could be seriously affecting the health of developing teenagers. There are many people that will argue that time itself is merely a social construct. In all reality, we are racing against two separate clocks in our lifetime as we age. Internally, we have our biological clock that we gauge through the changes that we see in our body as we grow. On the outside, we are racing against a physical clock, which we become accustomed to the times we wake up, the times we go to work, and we follow that throughout our days, and that schedule changes in keeping up with it as we grow older. When you're a teenager, that is when you are at a point in your life and your biological clock has developed to a point where you are facing the biggest gap between your body's internal message coming from that biological clock and the physical clock that you are being forced to follow within real life. This theme is even observed within some other mammals other than humans during that teenage age. This contrast means that a 7 a.m. wake up for a teenager in high school is the equivalent of a 4:30 a.m. wake up for a 50-year-old that might be their teacher or their principal. I hope to convince you today that later starting times would benefit us all. They would not only help improve the health of young adults we see going into the society, but it'll also help prepare people to become better functioning adults within society, which serves us all in the end. We all appreciate a few extra hours of sleep in the morning, but often we overlook our internal system used to regulate our own body's rest. Think about the times that you stay up late to finish a paper or stay up late for work. Within each of us, there's a circadian rhythm that tells us when we need to sleep. In layman's terms, since I guarantee we're not all medical professionals, this is a 24-hour cycle that goes on within your body, and when it's disrupted, it can impact not only your mental health, but your physical health as well. There are many 24-hour cycles occurring on this circadian rhythm throughout our bodies, and as we continue to grow and live as human beings. These cycles affect our behavior, hormones, metabolism, core body temperature, and various other major organs, including our heart and lungs. According to an article written by Paul Kelly, recent studies have linked a lack of sleep to impaired immune responses, as well as diabetes and obesity. Within this same study, disruptions in sleep have been proven to be linked to developed cases of anxiety and depression. These trials were conducted using participants who were only sleeping less than 6 hours a night. Remember when we were in high school and we used to stay up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and be up the next day at 7:30 ready to go to school. Those late nights may have had an effect on our mental and physical health that we're carrying with us into adulthood that we have even yet to experience. We begin to experience the effects of early academic starting times as early as junior high or middle school. But it does not end once we are out of early adolescence. This problem does not just affect teenagers. In 2010, Dr. Jane Galtney conducted a study referencing 1,845 students at a large public university in the southeast of the United States. The results of her research apply to a large majority of my audience today at Shawnee, as most of us are all college age. With college carrying a heavier course load, as we all know, than middle school through high school, the impact of an early start seems to be even more apparent in individuals our age or college aged. Due to this disruption beginning in middle school and occurring for many years at the point we are in college, Many college students are at risk for sleep disorders, and it can greatly impact our grades and academic performance as well as our social lives while we're in school. Many of us have probably attempted throughout our years in college to catch up on sleep over the weekends. Think about when you have had a rough week, it's finals, and you sleep in till 3 p.m. on Saturday. That has been proven to only contribute to the problem. Overall, throughout these crucial years, we're supposed to be honing our skills to continue to serve society as adults. But we are struggling due to the long ingrained early academic start times that we've experienced since junior high. This introduction that we experience of early start times in grade school affects our physical and mental health as adults. A society containing healthier adults is bound to see more success than a society filled of exhausted, sleepy adults that have been thrown off of their body's internal schedule for more than 10 years. Overall, we have already reviewed how the impact of an early academic start time haunts us into adulthood. In the same breath, we can come to the conclusion that early school days are resulting in an entire generation of graduates who are exhausted. As we age, we gain more responsibilities. Obviously, we have a lot more homework and things to do when we're in college than we did in grade school. Wouldn't it be nice if we were better prepared for an increasing workload from the very beginning? In a recent study, Dr. Jack Peltz found that 90% of high school students were not receiving enough sleep. By keeping school starting times the same, we are only perpetuating this cycle that we see of children growing into young adults and continuing to be affected by early academic starting times. Today, I hope I have encouraged you to view the argument for later academic starting times as a lot more complex than just lazy teenagers wanting to sleep in. Our bodies run on a clock that is operating completely separately from the ones that we check on our wrist, don't have a watch on right now, or throughout the halls during a school day. Disruptions due to the timing of school not changing along with our biology as humans as we grow through puberty and different obstacles we face growing into adults can affect us greatly as individuals. A small change to the socially acceptable starting time for our academic days can help us generate a new generation of well-rested, fully developed individuals. I believe that makes the slight shift in what we consider the normal wake-up time for school more than worth it. Thank you for your time.